I did something that I really regret, and I just keep doing things I regret, and I keep hurting people that I love, and I can't seem to stop doing it, and that makes me hate myself, and it makes me just want to jump into a hole and now live in that hole and maybe die there. Um, I just feel so ill equipped to engage socially with anyone. I never know what to say. I never know the right thing to say, and I say the wrong things. And I feel like I have to constantly like recalibrate, like, oh my god, I hurt someone. Like, what the heck? I didn't want to do that, but I did that. What did I say and what did I do and how did that cause hurt? It's so hard for me to understand the emotional impact of the things I say on other people, and it makes me feel very guilty. And I know, well, I believe it's part of like my autism, but I know that I have this big blind spot, and it makes me hate myself because I hurt people and I don't want to hurt them. I love them. I want to do good things for them. I want to fill them with positive emotions. I don't want to hurt them, and I just keep doing it. And I also just keep repeating myself over and over, and I'm pissing myself off. And like, my ex asked me through Discord messages if I wanted, if it was okay if they gave me part of my Christmas present, and part of my Christmas present included like writings that were considered like romantic and about loving me. And I felt really conflicted. And like, of course, I want those things because I love them and I feel that way too, but also, would it hurt me? Yes, it would really hurt me. And like, I think part of me felt angry that they were asking me the question, and I'm not really sure why. And um, I got like, I don't know, like, they were crying a lot, and it was like me, um, I there was just a switch if it wasn't apparent. It was me that was speaking for most, well, for the part of the conversation where I said the thing that hurt my ex badly, that I did not anticipate the effect that it would have on them. And I do feel really bad, but also I'm really confused. Like, basically, I had talked to another one of their headmates in Discord messages previously today, and we decided that it was best for us to physically separate. That they would come here and get their things, and then we would cease communication and no longer be physically around each other. And I said that in the future, if they wanted to reach out to me again, that I would like them to do that, but that I do not want to be their friend. If they reach out to me, I want it to be with romantic intent. And for me specifically, I feel this way in part because although we were friends, what I feel for them has changed, and I just don't think that I can go back to that now. And then there is another part of me that didn't even really want to be their friend initially. And I know that might be evil or like not normal or like maybe mean there are so many different alters in my system that did really want to be their friend, but like I didn't want that because I have a lot of problems with maintaining like my energy level. I am very lethargic and I get very tired socially very easily. And I really want to be a good friend and I want to be as attentive to my friends as I possibly can be. But because I feel that I already kind of struggle to have the energy and resources to be as good a friend of the friends that I have, I haven't really wanted more friends. But that's a conflict with my system because, like, Lucas, especially, and I know I'm sure there's others as well, really wants to have a lot more friends. But we do share the same body, and I get tired. Like, even if, like, he's the one who's mostly fronting, and I can't control whether or not I'm pushed to the front for some of like whatever he wants to do. If he wants to go socialize, I can't really control if I'm there or not sometimes. But yeah, I didn't want to be their friend initially because I just felt like I already have friends and it's difficult to have the energy to be a good friend to all of them. And because of that, because of that, it's a large and very important goal of mine to find a partner and a life companion. I thought, well, I would like the remaining energy that I have to go to a partner. But I think they're hurt because I think that they look at maybe relationships differently than me, but I'm not exactly sure how, and it's difficult for me to understand and process this. And part of me wonders if like my struggle to process information and understand people and means that like maybe I can't love people. And I feel like I think I can love, like I know I feel the emotion, like fondness. I want to be near them. I want to make them happy. I want to make their life easier. I want to please them. But like I don't know, like I feel like I'm just, my social skills are just so bad that I hurt the people I love. And I don't mean to. I just do it because I don't know better. And and then I feel so like elementary and immature because like I think through scenarios and I'm like, okay, what did I do here that was mean? What did I do here that was rude? How did I hurt them? And like I come to these realizations that I'm sure must sound like immature, and like how do you not know that at your old age? And like I genuinely just don't, and it makes me feel so stupid. And I don't know, maybe I need a social skills class, which is really embarrassing to need slash admit like at my age, and just like in general, because I feel like I've gotten this message my whole life, and no one like specifically told me this, but like I think it's just based off of the experiences I had. Like I've gotten the sense that like it's not okay for me to struggle, like it's not okay for me essentially to be autistic is what it feels like. um it I don't know, like it makes me feel like a big asshole all the time. I feel like a big asshole, and it makes me want to sort of like crumple up into a ball and just like avoid talking to anyone. And then I'm like, God, it reminds me of this guy that I dated briefly who told me no one likes a depressed person. And then it makes me think, oh, no one likes a person with no resolve. And it's like, I have resolve, but also my social skills only go so far. I get to a point where, like, I literally do not know what to do. And, like, I just break down. Like, I'm so overwhelmed. And I feel that, like, the way that my autism affects me is so much more severe than has ever been recognized or has ever been. It's no one's ever like given me supports for this. No one's ever recognized how badly I struggle to understand people, to process what they're saying to me. Like in real time, if someone is talking to me, I barely hear what they're saying. Like I hear it, but it doesn't go in my head. Like it doesn't go in. And I've tried to explain this so many times. And like I keep telling people, like my parents, like therapists, like friends, I'm like, I feel really stupid. Like I miss so much. And they're like, what is wrong with me? And like they're always like, oh no, you're not stupid, like you're smart. And it's like, okay, but like why do I struggle so much? Like what even is stupid then? What is smart? Like I'm really confused. It gets to a point where it's like, what is anything? Do words even have meaning? I'm so confused. But there was like, so like one of the alters in my ex's system told me that I shouldn't have said that I didn't want to be Winter's friend. And because he's sensitive and a bleeding heart, and I personally don't understand like why I shouldn't have said it. Because to me, I feel like it is the truth. It's the truth. I don't really want to be their friend. I feel like really hurt, and it's just, it would be really hard for me to be friends with someone that I was in love with and am in love with but can't be with. And we have this like really complicated history, and it's confusing. And also like I I want I want to I do want a partner, and I already struggle to have the energy to take care of the friendships and relationships that I do have. And so I feel that I only have the space for a partner. But I also didn't explain that to them. Because, like, I don't intrinsically think to explain my thought process to people. And maybe I need to start. I just, I don't know how I'm supposed to be ever. Like, I understand that saying that I didn't want to be their friend, I only want to be their partner, hurt them. And I feel bad for that. And that, honestly, it made me tell them that I do want to be their friend and I'm sorry, and that, like, I guess I took it out on them. Because I think that, because that's how one of the alters in their system told me that they felt like I did. They said that it felt like I was taking out whatever I was going through on Winter by saying that I didn't want to be friends with them. I only wanted to be their partner. And if they were to come back for me in the future, I would only want it to be like with the intent to date, not to be friends. And so, like, I felt like I had to adapt to their perception of like of what happened, because I genuinely don't, I'm confused. Like personally, I don't understand like why I should not have said that, but I know that I shouldn't because it hurt them. And I don't want to hurt them because I love them. And so I sort of like, I guess that was masking. I don't really understand myself. Like I didn't want to hurt them. I'm really confused. How do I people? I just don't know. I really don't know. Oof. I'm like really struggling with emotional instability today. I'm feeling so like, I'll be like so angry and then like depressed and anxious and hopeless. and just like desperate, like this hyper vigilant, anxious, like desperation, where it's like I have to do something, I have to do an action so that I can get this pain to stop. And it doesn't really stop. And I feel like that the psychological assessment just cannot come fast enough. But I'm really scared. Like, what if we have that done and there's no help? What if, like, they say, like, okay, yeah, we agree. You do have DID and, like, maybe some other things too, but there's no one to help you. Like, we don't know what you need. Or, like, what if they just tell me, like, okay, this is what you got, but then I'm on my own to find, like, appropriate help. I don't trust myself to find appropriate help. I think I'm gonna fail, and I'm scared to fail. And just like thinking of like having to do anything on my own is making me just like shake with anxiety. And I'm so uncomfortable, and like I know I'm smiling, but it's because I'm really anxious. And just and she's gone. I feel like I have to do something tomorrow. I feel like I have to get out of the house. I have to like distract myself. Like I need to do something, but I don't know what. And also, I feel like the only way that I'm gonna get out and do anything is if I ask my mom if like she will go somewhere with me, and I don't want to bother her or burden her because I already like need her help for a lot of things, and I get worried like if I ask my mom for too many things, she's gonna get overwhelmed and then snap at me, which is something that like she does have a tendency to do. And part of me is wondering, like, was I snapping at Winter when I said I don't want to be your friend if you come back in the future? I only want to engage with you if you have the intent to date me. Like, was that snapping? Like, I didn't think it was, because like I mean, I was feeling like angry and upset, but like, and I think that definitely showed in my tone, which is, it's difficult for me to hide how I feel, and I wonder if that makes me a jerk. um One thing that really upsets me is that it can be really difficult for me to get to know new people, or even just respond to messages like of already existing friends, because one of my headmates will like stop me from responding to the messages, and the consequence is that I end up feeling like really disconnected and sad and lonely. And I I really want to like connect more with people, but I'm stopped from doing that. And I don't know. Part of me is confused because we seem to be uploading videos to this channel just fine. It's different because I'm not really expected to have a continuous back and forth. This is like my channel, and I can just talk into the void and then upload it. I don't really have to talk to anyone. And I get really drained talking to people. Not because I don't like them, just because like I have a different social battery than you. And I don't know. I get really tired, like even just like responding to one message. Sometimes I don't even have the energy to like read someone's message. And in general, like I get really tired visually. I get very overstimulated visually very easily. And part of that makes it hard for me to respond, to read messages and also like write them. And even if I'm not the one who's physically doing it, I can't really control how close I am to the front. And so I'm going to be experiencing some of the drain, even if like you are driving most of it. And I don't really know how to mitigate that. Like, I've tried to talk about that in therapy before, and the therapist I was seeing, literally just said, "Oh, huh, there must be a solution for that," and then didn't like suggest anything. So, nothing really changed. Okay. I mean, I get that, but like, I feel like you would also benefit from having more friends and connections. Cause, like, I know you're lonely too, and I know that, like, it's tiring for you, but I don't know, like, is there something that, like, is there a way to make the interaction less draining? I mean, I really don't know if there is something. I genuinely just feel like I need alone time to watch YouTube or TikTok or like do my own thing. Like, I feel like that's the only thing that helps me. Yeah, but like, you'll do that for like several hours. Like, you'll respond to a few messages and then do that for like 2, 3 hours. And I feel like I could be spending so much more time of the day getting closer to more people. And I feel like continuously responding to messages increases the likelihood that we can get closer to more people. I realize that, but I also don't understand why it has to be a race. Like, why do we have to get closer to people by the end of today? That doesn't make sense. I'm like really lonely. I'm really lonely, and it's really important to me to have like more friends and more people that I can talk to. And I'm sorry that like it's so draining for you, and I really wish there was more of a solution. Like both stances are totally valid. I just wish like we could have our own bodies so we could do what we want and not like affect each other negatively. I wish the same thing. Like, genuinely, I wish the same thing. It drives me insane. But then part of me is like, if I was my own person, could I even stand on my own? Like, I feel like you are so much better than me, Kiara. I know, like, we sort of talked about this earlier, but like, I feel like you have so much more grace and tact, and people like you better than me, and you're not as like mopey and self-absorbed, and your social skills are better. You can tell when people are finished speaking so that you don't interrupt them. You don't really, almost never interrupt people. You are just, you're like kind and like feminine and like girly and shit, and you, I don't know, you're charming, and you know what to say to people when they're sad and like how to comfort them. And I fumble all of those things. And I just feel like a depressing cloud that fucks up people's life. And I say the wrong things, and I think like maybe I am bitter, maybe I do take things out on people. It's not my intent. Like, why do I do that? And then here's like you, and you're sweet, and like you actually can listen to people better than me. And I don't know, like you're really charming, like genuinely really charming. And like you don't see that in yourself, and then part of me is like, oh, the modesty is like really cute, and I'm sure people like that too. And then, but like I don't know why I feel like you take away from me. It's like a really gross, it's like an ugly way for me to feel. I hear you, Daisy. But like, honestly, I felt like a little jealous of you as well. And like, yeah, like, I felt like it's easier for you to speak your mind than it is for me. And you don't cater to people like I do. I like obsessively cater to people because I'm scared of saying the wrong thing. And I know that you're also afraid of saying the wrong thing, but you do that and people still like you. I can't even bring myself to go there. And I know that like you're not deliberately going there on purpose, you're just being yourself. And I think that that's a really, sorry, my eyebrow's really itchy. I think that's something that's really beautiful about you. And you genuinely like are kind. You are generous and like you do listen. And I feel that like I don't know, I don't think I always listen. I think that there are times when I'm really anxious and my emotions are heightened and they cloud me and I'm unable to see over my own emotional pain and really like listen and see what someone else is going through. So I don't know if there's anything that we can take away from this. I really hope that it's that we both have admirable qualities, and I think it's human to be jealous, or maybe I think envious is the proper word, because or I don't know. Well, I think it's envious for me. I don't know if it's envy or jealousy for you, but I think it's normal as a human to want what other people have, and unfortunately to discount the good qualities that you have, that we have as people. I think it's easier to see the good qualities in others rather than ourselves. And I just want you to know, Daisy, that like you don't have to be like me to be loved. Like you are loved. And genuinely, why are you so nice to me? Like I called you a bitch earlier. You deserve it. And I know you didn't mean that. I know you were just frustrated. It did hurt me like in the moment because I was just trying to like be nice and reassure you. But like I know you're going through it. And another thing too is like you did make it clear that you weren't like calling me a bitch, you were thinking it. It's just that we were close in the headspace, and so I heard it because no privacy, unfortunately. Which it did still hurt to hear that, to know that you thought that, because I personally, I never think that people are bitches